I think we're live.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, it is Sunday afternoon. This is our Sunday afternoon live, and we're here to talk all about the fun of cruising in 2024. You're going to hear about our adventures. We'll hear about your adventures, and we'll see what worked and didn't work in 2025.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cruising Canucks. I'm Jill, and we have Jerry with us, and Bruno's in my arms.
Yes, and this is our Sunday Live that is live at 2 p.m. on Sundays. In case you're listening to this recorded, that's when we're actually in real life. And if you're watching this and recording, then thanks for checking us out. Probably on Spotify, YouTube, one of those places, Apple Music. And it is in between Christmas and New Year's.
Yes.
So to go with Christmas and you're around all those family and friends, sometimes you catch a little something. So I'm fighting a sore throat today. So if I run out of words, it's not because I run out of words. It's because my throat ran out of noises.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm sipping a hot coffee.
You are not.
Oh, sorry, hot tea.
What is he saying? He does not drink coffee.
It's good on the sore throat. So,
But I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season and continue to do that as we ring in the new year in a few days from now.
Yeah, it's not long now.
Not long now.
Anything you wanted to get done in 2024, you're running out of time.
Running out.
It's like 72 hours, something like that left to go.
What do you need to do in your 20?
I don't know. Not enough time left to get nothing to get a cruise in now. So it's probably too late to get one last cruise in.
Yes, I think we've missed that window.
My goal is to get the last vlog done for the Sun Princess series that we're working on.
Oh.
Yes. And speaking of that, we should give that right off the top.
Oh.
We should update. I think I have it later on, but we'll throw it in here now.
Okay.
That we were wrong for 6 days.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh, yes. We received an email. The name just escaped me. I did have it. We received an email this week saying, I think I figured out the secret word, but you keep saying in your videos that it's only one word. Is it not two? And I went, oh, no. Yes. So you are looking for 2 words on the 7-day series of vlogs, and so sorry for that confusion. And our last video that we are about to release will have that correction made in it.
Yes. We just wanted to make it more difficult. Everybody said it was getting too easy, so we thought we'll just give them misinformation.
Absolutely. Feed them false news and see how long it takes someone to call us on it. But yeah, so sorry about that, guys. It is 2 words.
Yes. So, yeah, that's out of the way. And when that last vlog comes out, we're going to also extend the deadline for getting in the answers for During the Secret Word. We had a lot of people that were like either on trips or especially now it's being holiday time of year.
Right.
So we're going to give everybody, I think it's 2 weeks to get that in. So,
yes.
So that'll
a little extra time this time. We had a few people that were finding it was too quick the last round.
And if you came up with just one word, let us know what that is. I'm curious. I'm wondering if you could have made just one word out of this.
Roberta's saying, I was wondering.
Yes,
yeah, Roberta.
Now everybody's going, now I know what it was.
Now I know what the word is. Yeah.
So yes, 2024 was a fun year of cruising for us. We did 7 cruises.
We did 7 cruises.
It spanned 55 days.
55 days on a ship.
Yes, and we didn't even go to Europe this past year.
No.
Yeah, we went to Europe 2 years in a row, and we didn't get to Europe this year at all.
We didn't.
Yep.
No.
So, but we did see Canada more than ever.
That's true. We did 2 Eastern Canada cruises, and then we also sailed out of BC on Alaska cruise this year. So we did spend more time in Canada.
Yep, we did. So I thought what I would do for this, Mrs. Canuck doesn't know about this.
Oh, here we go.
I pieced together a video clip from each of the 55 days we did on a cruise.
Oh, did you?
Yes. And so I'm going to roll that now. Sit back and enjoy the 2024 that the Cruising Canucks went through, and you might recognize some of these vlogs. Some you might not recognize because we haven't released them yet.
Really? That's true. We still have to release our Celebrity Apex series.
Yes, that's still coming out. But here we go, and it's in chronological order. Here we go. This was what 2024 looked like.
Wish that I could find the words to describe you now, as I'm lying next to you and the world goes quiet. Wish that I could make you see how you fit me perfectly, and I fall for you again. We've been through it all. You're the one who understands. In a world where hope grows thin, you've completed me. And the story left within tells me how to breathe. Wish that I could make you see how you fit me perfectly, and I fall for you again. We've been through it all. You're the one who understands. For you again. We've been through it all. You're the one who understands. Fall for you again. We've been through it all. You're the one who understands.
Oh. Well, I think Mr. Canuck did that just to see if he could get me crying on camera, which you did, as I reach for a Kleenex. Oh, what a wonderful year we've had. We're so thankful, so appreciative of the life that we have, and so appreciative for the wonderful followers and friends that we've met along this journey. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, it was a good year of not only cruising and some amazing destinations, but also good friends, starting with the group cruise.
Yes, that was so much fun. There for a while, people were asking us to do a group cruise, and we were a little apprehensive about it, and what would that look like, and how would that feel? And by the end of the first night, we both knew that we had made the right decision by doing a group cruise, because we felt like we had already made lifelong friends, and so that's exactly how we feel and continue to feel that way. So we're so excited that in the new year 2025 we'll be doing our second group cruise, and we're going to get to meet a whole bunch of other people too, so we're really looking forward to that. But yeah, the things that you don't expect in life sometimes can be the most rewarding, and so that has definitely been a highlight for us.
Yeah, for sure. And I think when Mrs. Canuck, Jill, says that we were a little apprehensive of having a group cruise, it wasn't that we didn't think that we would like being on a ship with people and having a good time.
No.
I think it meant that we know that we are 100% authentic, that you can see on camera is us, what we see in real person is us. There's no like on time where we go and we have to be something and then go back to our cabins and be our normal self. We're always us, right? So I think that's what we knew that would just be like putting ourselves right out there, like everything we are is what people would see.
Yeah, there's definitely a level of vulnerability with it. I mean, even just doing this, when Mr. Canuck first wanted us to start vlogging, that was a big level of vulnerability in my mind for us. But we have just been overwhelmed with the amount of positive responses and wonderful people. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when Kimmy Cat's cornering me at the Crown Grill bar, going, Jerry, you're so quiet. That's just what I'm really like.
Yeah, it is. It is what he's really like.
Unless I have 3 drinks.
Yeah. 3 drink Jerry's. Fun time, guys.
Fun time, guys. Intravenous.
Yeah.
So quick updates. Nothing too much here. I don't want to do a lot of housekeeping because we still have to talk.
Okay.
But yeah, Sun Princess vlogs are almost done. The last one's coming out later this week. When it comes out, you're going to have 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
To enter for the Journey to the Secret Word.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's the next thing I had up here. So you'll have till like middle of January or so.
Mm-hmm.
So that's someone had said that they would need more time if they're away and they want to get into the contest. So that makes sense. There's no real rush to get it in. We have 300 people that get in within a week. So hopefully we'll have even more.
There we go.
Or if you're trying to win, you're hoping less.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
And interesting comment of the week we had came in. Someone was saying that they're in the exact same room that we were in on the Sun Princess. And their children were in the room next door at 16102. And we went back and forth having a conversation with this person.
Yeah.
And that was the room of Sun Princess that we said we couldn't sleep here because it was so noisy. They had the exact same problem, but they were on a sold-out cruise and they couldn't move.
Yeah.
So they tried everything from earplugs to you name it. They said the noise never went away. They couldn't escape from it the whole cruise.
And she confirmed what I had said on camera, that she counted it, that every 8 seconds the noise would come again. Every 8 seconds. So yeah, I mean, I feel bad, but this is the point we're sharing this with all of you, because please don't book those rooms. Forward, up high, deck 16. Stay away from it if you're going on the Sun Princess.
Yep, for sure.
And if you're booked, I would advise you to try to change your cabin location if you are in that area right now, because so my question to them, because we were very fortunate enough that we only had to endure it for one night and we were able to get to a different cabin. But my question to this person was, did they ever get used to it? Because I thought I was so exhausted after the first night of not sleeping that maybe I would be tired enough that I would just fall asleep between the earplugs. We had our sound machine with us. Anyways, her response was no, they heard it every single night and they had a horrible week of no sleep. So that's very unfortunate. And that's something that needs to be rectified, because that's not a way to have a vacation when you're sleep deprived like that. Very unfortunate.
Trivia time. True or false?
Okay.
So you got a 50-50 chance on this one.
Okay.
Will a Florida-based cruise line in 2025 have a cruise called Tales of the Sea where all the guests on the ship can bring their dogs?
No, that's false.
You think I just made that up?
Yes, you just made that up.
Are you sure?
Yes, that's false. Yeah.
Do you think that's false?
Could you imagine? Yes, I think that's false. Leighton Life saying true. Bruce and Tony saying true. Edward saying true. Is it true? People are allowed to start bringing their dogs on cruise?
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, technically the way I asked the question, it's false, but it is true. There's going to be a cruise. The only thing is,
Look at everybody's saying true. I need to get my head out of the sand.
Everybody can't bring their dogs.
Oh.
Only 250 dogs are going to be allowed on the ship, but still 250 dogs.
250 dogs. That would be Bruno's nightmare. He's not a fan of other dogs. He doesn't believe he's one.
This is Margaritaville of the Sea, or Margaritaville at Sea, I think it's called.
Wow.
Out of Tampa, that they're having. I think it's in the fall of 25. Yeah.
Their new island or whatever.
I know it's out of Tampa, so that's where their new one is.
Wow.
So there you go. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at some of the comments that are coming in talking about a poop cruise. It's going to be a SHIT show.
It gives new meaning to the term poop deck.
Oh my gosh, 250
dogs.
And so it's literally a first come, first serve. Doesn't matter the size, the breed, any of that?
There is weight limitations. I think the dogs have to be under 40 pounds, I think. Either 40 or 20. I can't remember. Maybe under 20 pounds. So it's only small dogs are being allowed on. Yeah. So Bruno's in.
Yeah. Oh, he would not be happy. It would not be a good vacation for any of us. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Oh my.
You imagine?
No, I can't. I'm shocked. I thought for sure that was made up. Wow.
Oh, so we've got 10, 15 minutes to still talk about 2024 cruising in that.
You blew my mind with that one.
Blew your mind. There's going to be a cruise of 250 dogs on it. Yep.
So we've got a question here about that. Someone's asking folks cruise with their dogs on the Queen Elizabeth II, don't they? So you can cruise with your dog on a Cunard transatlantic cruise, but it's not like they don't go to your room. They're in kennels. They have someone a staff member that looks after them.
I think
you can go to the area and be with your dog. They have visiting hours.
They also have, I believe what I've seen on top of that is you can have your dog and there's a certain space, an outdoor space that you can take them out there briefly and walk them and then bring them back to the kennel.
And loungy areas
and
that sort of thing. But they wouldn't be like in my cabin with me.
Yep.
If Bruno was to go in that, he'd be in a crate throughout the voyage. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do pay for the dogs on Cunard. Do you pay for this on this too? Would they charge for each dog?
I don't know.
They bring on?
There was information on that. I can't remember what it was though.
Yeah, I have all kinds of follow-up questions for this, and you don't have any of the answers.
We'll have to look it up after. We'll do a whole live on the poop cruise. Yeah, one starts barking, they all start barking. 250 dogs barking. Yeah, that's what Gary's saying.
Yeah, well, that would be my concern with Bruno. He's a very quiet dog until he hears another dog barking at him, and then he pretends that he's a 100-pound dog and gets very loud and barky. Yeah.
Okay, cruises in 2024. Thoughts on each one? 2024 started with the Enchanted Princess group cruise.
Yeah.
What's your takeaway from that?
Well, that was a life-changing life experience for us, because it was just such a wonderful, wonderful experience meeting so many phenomenal people, and we had a blast. So I'll never forget that cruise. Not that I think I'll forget any of them, but that one will definitely always be a highlight moment of a cruise for me. It was phenomenal.
Only downside for me
was
the fact that we were against the dock in Dominica and they drove away. And the cruise was advertised. When we booked the cruise months ahead, it was like cruise for 10 days to Dominica, Martinique, I think it was.
Yeah.
So it was in the advertisement and they didn't get there for us.
We've never been there before, so we were really looking forward to getting there. But again, that wasn't Princess' fault or the captain's fault. That was a decision made by the local captain.
Yeah, they said the swells. Pilot. They said the swells were too big. Like, it was pretty calm looking, but that was a confusing day for us. But that was the only. Other than that, fantastic cruise. Of course, we liked the ship. We pretty well lived on that ship for about a 4-month span between 2 different cruises. It's got the Candy Girl on it. How can you go wrong?
Yeah, no, wonderful. That was the Enchanted Princess group cruise was wonderful. Highlight for sure.
Would you go back and sail on the Enchanted Princess again?
I would.
You would? Yeah. No jealousy issues with the Candy Girl?
No. You can dream about the Candy Girl all you want. There you go.
You got to find a Candy Boy.
Oh, my. Oh. Well, thankfully, I'm not as obsessed with candy as you are. But there you go.
Oh. So that was, I had a little thing for you cruise one I forgot to put on the screen.
Oh, okay.
There it is. Ta-da.
Yeah.
And cruise number 2. MSC Seashore.
Ooh.
What do you think of that one?
Well, that was polar opposite when it came to experience, really, what can I say? But there was a lot of misses on that MSC cruise for us. But we still had a wonderful time because we were still on a cruise, and that was great. And also we were on our cruise with our 2 daughters and their spouses and our 1 grandchild. So yeah, that made it a wonderful time, but I would not go back on the seashore is what I'll say confidently. I have no desire to run back to get on that cruise ship.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a surprise for me because we had a surprising good time on the seaside. We wow, what's the deal with MSC? A lot of people don't like it, but we had a pretty positive experience. We went on this ship and had the opposite experience. It's like,
my biggest negative was it seemed so crowded everywhere and very limited venues for eating. So that was the biggest downside.
So then we came home for a month or 2, and then we headed off on a train to a cruise out of Montreal, did the East Coast Canada for the first time on a ship we haven't done, the small All America ship, the Ball and Dam.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Well, when I thought of that one, I was a little apprehensive, I guess, that it was going to be too small of a cruise ship for us. But I, again, will say that this one will probably stick out to being one of my favorite cruises I've ever done, period. Loved it. Incredible staff, incredible itinerary and ports that we fell in love with. The ship itself, I just felt like it was never crowded. We never had to wait for elevators. We just had overall wonderful experience. My only takeaway from it is I would never book an ocean view promenade room again with people walking by my window. I would do an interior room before I would pick that room again. But phenomenal trip. Really loved it.
Yeah, I think it's funny because we did a video after we came back from that cruise right away, and I think people thought maybe we were being a little dramatic or a little bit
Over the top, yeah.
clickbaity or something, but it was true. I think that's probably as close as I've ever come to a perfect cruise when you combine the ship and the staff and the embarkation port and the itinerary and even how we got to the cruise on the train. Like everything came together.
Experience.
And it's funny because we were getting into something we knew nothing about what it was going to be like. We thought, oh, this will be interesting. Is this going to be a one and done? And we were like, we found the perfect cruise experience.
I think, yeah. I mean, there's so many things that worked in that group or in that trip to make it so wonderful. So many different components and everything fell together to make it the near perfect trip. One of the questions that we were asked a lot when we were talking about how wonderful it was we had a follower who was American that messaged me and said, do you feel like you liked it so much because you're Canadian and you were in Canada? And I don't think that really played a huge role in it. I will say that I did think the itinerary and the ports were beautiful. And it did sort of make me proud to be Canadian and to meet such wonderful Canadian people throughout the journey. But yeah, anyways, I don't think you have to be Canadian to enjoy it as much as we did, is what I'm trying to say. I think wherever you are in the world, if you did that trip, you'd be like, wow, this is an amazing spot and an amazing sort of cruise experience.
For sure. Yeah, it was the unexpected gem. As much as MSC was a disappointment and we didn't expect it to be the way it was, I think this one was way beyond our expectations. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
So the next one is our first ever time on Cunard. So I'll let you talk about that because I have to run over there for a second.
Oh, are you doing a coughing fit?
But I do want to talk about it, so I'll be back.
So Cunard for me was definitely a bucket list cruise line to try. I've been following along ever since we were cruising with Holland America and started with Carnival, obviously. But getting to Holland America, I always thought, okay, so it seemed like in my impression that Cunard was one step above them, and I wanted to see if that was the case. I will say that I had a wonderful time on the Cunard cruise. I thoroughly enjoyed their gala nights and formal nights because that's what I love to do, is dress up. And I understand that's not for everybody, but that was probably the highlight of it for me. Do I think it's better than Holland America? I wouldn't say that was the case for me. So Jerry and I have talked about this back and forth a lot. And for me, I think, I would do another Cunard, but I wouldn't pay more for Cunard than I would a Holland America. There's certain things that I really think that they still need to work on to sort of be modern with the modern day cruising right now. And the biggest thing for me would be they should be offering an all-inclusive package and maybe spend a little bit of time on their cocktails that they do offer, because we bought drinks along the way, and every time I ordered a drink, it was a letdown. So that was my sort of downside with Cunard. But, my gosh, does anybody do tea time better than Cunard? No. Their everyday tea time that's included was wonderful.
Well, before I go on with Cunard, I'll answer your question. Does anybody do tea time better than Cunard? I think Morella's musical tea is better than Cunard.
Well, yes, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
But I was talking about included tea times. Yeah. You didn't have to pay, we paid for that one, but yeah.
Cunard was interesting for me because when we talk about perfect cruise, everything has to come together, all the different pieces that make up an entire cruise adventure, vacation. When it comes to ships, I would say that the Queen Elizabeth was pretty close to my perfect ship. I would have liked a couple things to be done differently on the ship. For example, the air conditioning that we know works because we saw it was really bad. But as far as layout, how it handled the crowds, which it felt like there was never crowds on the ship.
That's true.
I think as far as all the different venues from music to everything else, I think for me, the design was almost perfect. The library, 2-story library with circular staircase. How can you not like that?
That's pretty.
But I think that if I had to choose one ship to go on over and over again, it would probably be the Queen Elizabeth. I was that impressed by it. Wow. And that's saying something because I got off the Volendam, that older, smaller ship, thinking, wow, that's my speed. That's the ship I like. And then got on the Queen Elizabeth and thought, wow, I love this ship. I absolutely loved it. And I loved the food more than you.
Yeah, he did.
So it was British fare was more my speed. That's for sure. Less seafood and steak and a little more exotic stuff.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Hmm. And Bruce sneezed on me.
You gave him your cold.
Oh, next up, after we did the Queen Elizabeth, we went out of Canada again on the Emerald Princess.
We did. And we thought, is this going to be a drastically different experience from compared to going in the spring on the Volendam? We were on a bigger ship, all of that sort of thing. So, I mean, I think our biggest takeaway from the Emerald Princess, again, loved the itinerary, loved the staff, the food, the service, that sort of thing. But that ship felt a lot more crowded than what we were comfortable with. That would be my takeaway with it. The piazza is so small that you could hardly ever get a seat there, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Emerald Princess was interesting. I think maybe part of the problem with me for Emerald Princess was that the Volendam was so good. It was near the perfect vacation. So Emerald Princess had a lot to live up to. I think one big difference for me, though, was that I felt like Holland America with their East Coast itineraries, I felt like they integrated themselves into the culture of Eastern Canada. I really felt that they went out of their way with their musical acts and everything they were doing. It felt like you were authentically there and the ship was invested in part of that. Princess, I didn't feel that as much, that you're on a princess ship visiting these different ports, but anything on the ship didn't feel Canadian.
Yeah, it felt less authentic.
But all the Emerald Princess, yeah, it was a little busy, the ship, especially. I've never seen a theater, I don't think, as busy as that. Well, some Princess maybe, but it was crazy busy, which I've never seen on that class of ship for Princess. I'm not sure why it was so busy in our trip, but it was crazy busy.
Yeah, very busy.
And it was the itineraries were still good, but I think kind of the novelty of doing that was kind of weighing against that cruise for us. It was hard to live up to the Volendam, I guess. If we would have did that cruise first, we probably would have thought it was much better than what it was.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah. I'm seeing some updates on the Tale of the Seas cruise. The dogs have to be under 20 pounds or 18 inches high.
You want to put that up on your screen?
I can try putting that up. We'll interrupt our cruise adventures to throw this up because we had some questions.
Yeah, I had lots of
There we
questions
go.
about it.
Crated when alone in the cabin.
Okay.
And on a leash in designated
You're not allowed
area.
in the dining areas. $1,500 regular fee. Wow.
Is that
a fee for use per waste?
So is that just the dog? So
I'm not sure.
On top of the regular fee is $1,500 for the animal? I'm curious.
Or maybe that's an included fee. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. There you go. Tale of the Seas.
Pet butlers will clean your balcony, relief stations, and other areas that need one requested. This it says on the website. Wow.
There you go. What do you think, Bruno?
Want to go on a cruise? It's like, well, you guys seem to be pretty enthralled with it. Maybe you like it.
Bruno's never spent any time in a crate.
No, he hasn't.
I'm not sure what he would think of that.
Yeah, even when he was a puppy, we didn't have him crated. He was so tiny that you didn't have to worry about him being able to jump on things or get into things. So I literally had him with a baby gate in a room, and he was fine with the baby gate. So that's the closest to a crate he's ever had.
Uh-oh. Bruce says he's out now.
Yeah.
Cruise number 6. People are going to be curious to see what you say about this because we haven't released the vlogs yet.
Well, I really enjoyed our Apex experience, the Celebrity Apex. And again, that was another bucket list cruise for us to try, or cruise line. We've been wanting to try Celebrity for quite a few years, and we finally were able to make that happen. And I really enjoyed some of the things that Mr. Canuck didn't enjoy. So the highlight for me is their 4 themed restaurants that are included that you can go to whichever night you want, whenever, and go back to your favorite one all the time if you want. Anyways, really enjoyed that. I loved the decor of the ship. I felt like it never felt like it was an overly crowded ship. They had great shows in the main theater. So there's so many things I really loved about that. There was a few things that I didn't like about that cruise line, mainly the cost of their specialty dining. I would have liked to have tried a few, but it just felt like it was a lot more expensive than a lot of other cruise lines. And their drink package was not really one that really worked in favor for things that I wanted to do, which was have cocktails and stuff like that. They had themed specialty cocktail menus everywhere, but if you have the classic drink package, they were $7 more than what your drink package covered. So that was a huge upcharge. So I didn't really like that.
I think the problem with the drink package was for you especially was the lack of transparency of what drinks were available for what packages. You're always guessing. Nobody wanted to give you an actual drink menu. It was really strange.
I had to ask every bartender at every bar, do you have a menu for what's covered under the classic drink package? And never once was I given a menu. They would just say to me, what do you want to order? And I'm like, well, can I have a mojito? And they would give me one. But,
well, I did see drink menus throughout the ship at different bars, but they're all for the fancy drinks.
Yes.
The drink package didn't include.
They didn't have one that covered what our drink package was called, the classic drink package. And there was not one menu that I could find that would tell me what was included in that. So that was a little sort of frustrating, I would say.
Yeah, and the dining, like, it wasn't a terrible dining experience for me. I wasn't like hands on the hip saying I'm not eating here anymore. I'm fed up with these 4 restaurants. It was like I just prefer same staff, dining room kind of. And
your routine.
I just like, I'm a big believer in the older style of cruising where you have the same wait staff for the whole cruise. You get to know them, they get to know you, your eccentricities if you have them, like Mrs. Canuck. Then then that kind of works throughout the whole week. Right.
I thought the dining experience was wonderful.
Yeah, the service was good and the staff were good. I'm not saying they weren't good. It's kind of a different experience, I guess what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Entertainment I thought was really good. I really felt, it sounds strange, but 6-day long cruise, I kind of felt like I never really hit my stride with Celebrity to get a feel for how to best use the ship for how I like to cruise. I felt towards the end we started to get a little bit of that, but I feel we missed out on some things, like some of the entertainment. It was
the ship wasn't, the cruise wasn't long enough.
Yeah, like the timing was funny on the entertainment. It took us a while to figure out how to make all that work. And yeah.
Well, they did do a lot of later entertainment things. So there was often at 10:45 every night, live performance of a show would start beginning, or different things that you wanted to do, but there was always sort of a lull downtime after dinner before that. So like 8 p.m. it was hard to find something to do, but there were 3 or 4 things to do at 10:45. So that was a little, you had to stay up later than what I normally would do, I guess.
And I'm curious
to be a part of it.
I'm curious to know if that's a Celebrity thing or that was specific to this ship and the way the cruise director lined the entertainment up. I'd be curious to compare a different Celebrity ship to see.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one, cruise number 7, was the Sun Princess.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on Sun Princess?
Beautiful ship, still has some bugs that need to get worked out in it.
Yeah. That's all the words you got?
Well, I can give you more words. It definitely felt very crowded. Probably one of the busiest cruise lines we've been on this year. I would compare the crowds felt similar to what we experienced in the beginning of the year with the MSC Seashore. That really turned me off from wanting to cruise with them. So it was definitely felt crowded, but there were certain areas that didn't, that always felt like you could get away from the crowds when you wanted to. So I appreciated that. Loved the dome. Absolutely loved the dome for a quiet, relaxing area, and that whole pool area and of the cruise ship. I liked that. I love a lot of different things that they've implemented in there. The American Diner was wonderful. The grab and go food places, like food things that you could get at the buffet area, was a nice little option. There's lots of things that I really liked, but there were a few things that were a bit of a challenge. It was hard to find live music because everything's all in the one area. And then if you couldn't get into that one area, there was nowhere else to go. So that was a little frustrating.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the Star Princess after being on the Sun Princess, because I'm not sure how much of the problems they have can be actually fixed. Like, there'd have to be a massive change in a lot of different things on the ship to make the Star Princess a star. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure how Princess is tackling that. I think they know that they've got some issues based on what the captain said, what other people said to them on the ship, the fact that they've changed some of the orientation of the ship already. I think they know there's some challenges based on the cabins that make a lot of noise. Like, there's a lot of funny little things. So I think they've got a ways to go. I'm not convinced the Star is going to be able to overcome those things, because a lot of it's already been built before a lot of the feedback's been coming in. So you probably got more of the same problems coming in with the Star. So be interesting to see where it goes. But yeah, I would say next to MSC, I think the Sun Princess is the second biggest disappointment of 2024 for me. in saying that, though, it's kind of I'm back and forth because there were some venues and parts of the ship that I really enjoyed. So there was some positive improvements.
Yeah,
but
I was going to. That's what I like. When I look back at it now, I have great memories of things that we did on the Sun Princess, and certain things that they have. Love the Good Spirits Bar highlight of that venue change where you can actually hear the show, be a part of it, all that sort of thing. We loved that. And then, some of the new stuff that they brought in was quite fun. I thoroughly enjoyed the hot pot dinner that we had where we cooked our own food. I know that's not for everybody. We had a lot of comments this week, people saying they didn't want to pay for a specialty dining and then be expected to cook their own food. And I get that. But for me, it was unique and it was something different and it was fun and the service there was phenomenal. So stuff like that I really, really enjoyed.
It's kind of funny. It's funny that we did have a bunch of people comment about they didn't want to have to cook their own dinner when they're on a vacation, because I had said that in the vlog, but I actually had cut that part of the vlog out. So I was like, oh, that might just sound a little bit negative, that I just, who cares if you have to have fun and cook your own food. So I kind of actually took my own words away from that vlog, but it's funny to see people fill that in, even though I had not included it in the vlog. So 2024 was a success.
It was.
I think we tried 2 new cruise lines.
We did.
I would say that we would probably go back on those cruise lines again.
Yes.
So
I would definitely go back on both of them again.
We had one cruise line that we decided maybe we're not going to go on it in a little while. So we had one downside. Mm-hmm. We kind of had interesting experience. I think with Princess, for us, it helped us refine what we like about Princess and what ships maybe are best fits for us. Mm-hmm. So I think with Princess, it was a learning year for figuring out where we fit in.
Yeah, I really love the Enchanted Princess, and we've spent a lot of days on that. And we've also sailed on the Sky Princess. And really, for me, that's probably my favorite class of princess ships. I think Mr. Canucks probably is the Caribbean Princess in that style. But for me, I think I would prefer to sail back on the Enchanted before I would want to go back on the Sun, if I had a choice.
There you go. I'll jump to a few comments. We're getting a little late on time, but I'll jump in a few here. I'll just kind of go backwards from the bottom here. Okay. Two Mama says, on the Sun, I'm here for the specialty dining, have the premium package for that reason.
Yeah, and it's fun. I mean, I loved that. That was the highlight of the cruise for me because we were fortunate enough to be able to do that too. And so you get to go to all the different restaurants and try, what they offer, and it's a new adventure each night. So for me, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and we were fortunate enough that we were sailing with wonderful friends, and so getting to sit down and have dinner and just hang out and socialize with friends while you're experiencing great meals, for me it was wonderful. So I think I would have had a different experience had it just been the two of us. I probably would have been more disappointed that the arena was so tiny that I couldn't go into it, but because we were sailing with friends, I felt like it's okay because we would just sit down and chat and take in entertainment where we could find it and have a good time. So yeah, there
you go. You said all the words.
I said all the words. I'm saving your throat.
I would say that thing that both of you have agreed on here is actually probably a big negative for people that don't have the means or don't want to book the specialty dining or any of the packages plus anything else.
Yeah, we did hear from other people that we met on the cruise that were followers that didn't have the premier package, and they were feeling that a lot of the ship was taken up with those venues and that they felt a little slighted from that. So I can get that would be the case.
I mean, you want to see an interesting specialty dining experience, watch for this week's vlog, The Last Day on the Sun Princess, when we tried Butcher's Block. A lot of people have covered it. Mrs. Canuck puts herself into pretty well a meat coma because there's so much meat that comes out on that. So
it was an interesting dining experience, and I'll say that, leave it at that until you guys watch the video and see what your take is on our experience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Robin is saying that celebrity drink packages are very high, and even with the premium drinks package, there were many cocktails in the printed menus that exceeded the drink allowance for the premium.
Yeah, so I know. It's true, right? I just thought they were so much more expensive than, say, Princess or Holland America when I compared the drinks. Yeah.
Stacy wants to know why you flipped the last two vlogs. Why did we put Sun Princess out before Celebrity Apex?
So we did that because so many people were wanting to see the changes that they had made on the Sun Princess from when it first set sail in the spring in the Mediterranean, because they changed a lot of venues and did a revamp throughout their transatlantic cruise and coming over to North America. So we wanted to get that out and show that to a lot of our followers that we knew were booked on it over the holiday season and into the beginning of the new year. So we sort of did that by request because we had a lot of followers that were really wanting to see those vlogs before they got on the ship.
Cruise for Life has a question. Is the MSC Yacht Club cheaper than a regular celebrity balcony room?
Do you know the answer to that?
I'm having to guess, so I could be wrong on this guess, but I think that the MSC Yacht Club is still more expensive than a celebrity regular balcony. Pretty sure, especially since there's so many balconies on Celebrity. With the infinite balconies, for example, there's so many of them available that it keeps the price fairly low. So I'm saying that Yacht Club is still more than celebrity balcony. We haven't tried Yacht Club to know, and we haven't actually tried a celebrity balcony to know the difference.
Yeah, so we definitely aren't the experts to answer that question.
Gary says Mr. C would love the Disney rotational dining where the staff rotates with you.
Oh, you get to take your own staff with you. Yeah, he would like that. You're right. You're right, Gary. That would be something he'd be a fan of.
For sure. And $59 registration fee is for the pets. That helps cover the additional staff for cleaning up after the pets, I guess.
So they don't come cheap, do they? Yeah.
So I think we'll call it there. We're quite a bit after our time and have to rest the throat. But join us next week because it's going to be the beginning of 2025. We're going to do a little bit of a New Year's celebration next Sunday. We're going to probably have a little bit of trivia about upcoming 25 cruise news and events that are going on. We're going to have an announcement about a new cruise that we're booking. So a bunch of stuff next weekend that we can get 2025 started the right way.
That's right.
And coming soon, one of these times, we're going to be announcing the 2026 group cruise. We keep having hurdles and problems, but we're going to have it announced very, very soon.
Yeah. But thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And please, if you haven't already done so, hit the like button. And have a happy, wonderful new year in your celebrations and stay safe throughout them all. And we can't wait to chat with you all again next week.
So happy new year, everybody. And we'll see you in 2025.
Bye.
Bye-bye.